Since so many people are into running these days, I want to join a running crew, but I wonder if I can really run properly. I can now run a full 10 kilometers, but I want to improve my time. What should I do? Whenever I play soccer, I always get blocked, and it's so frustrating. In basketball, I can never break through, so the situations you face and the goals you have may all be a little different. But the desire to get faster is something you all have in common. And before you even get to that desire to get faster, haven't you ever felt discouraged, thinking, it's just because I don't have talent? I need to work harder. If you put in the effort like this, anyone can do it. But I'm not going to just blindly talk about grit and perseverance like this. If you think you can get faster just by relying on talent without putting in any effort, then please quietly hit the back button. Effort is the foundation, and I'll give your effort a booster. You need to work smart with the right methods to grow much faster. If you add 3 times, you get 9. We learned in elementary school that this is called 3 times 3. I've only included practical, useful tips that are so simple even elementary students can easily understand and apply them right away to get faster quickly. If you watch until the end of the video, you'll think, wow, I'm really slow. I'll make sure that you can be confident that your speed and agility will definitely improve if you follow these tips, especially if you've been struggling with this. So let's get started now. The reason I'm making such a bold claim is this: that frustrating situation where you're slow no matter what you do. I'm sure that's exactly how many of you watching this video feel. That was exactly how I felt when I used to work out really hard without knowing anything. When I was young, I honestly had no talent at all, so no matter how determined I was to run this time, my body was overwhelmingly slower than my friends. It felt like someone was pulling my feet from below. I was putting in the effort, but I couldn't move forward, and my body felt as heavy as if it was soaked in water. But after learning about the body and about exercise, and having done so for about 15 years now, things have changed. As I kept at it, I noticed details like, this is why I was so slow. Each point became clear. It's been 5 years since I started sharing information through YouTube videos, and I've helped many experience real change. So now when I watch people run, I can spot things and say, it looks like this might be the issue. It seems like this kind of situation happens because you're not pushing off the ground properly. Now, I'm able to point out those details for people. Now, I feel confident. A lot of people worry and say, I'm so slow, it's really bothering me. For those situations and most of those questions, I can now provide answers and help people make real changes. Of course, please don't misunderstand what I'm saying right now. I'm not saying I can make everyone incredibly fast. If that were the case, honestly, I would have done it myself and gone to the Olympics. What I mean is that I can help you become as fast and efficient as your potential allows. When it comes to speed and overall sports performance, I am confident that I can show you the most efficient way to improve from your current level in a very short time, more so than anyone else. Wow, that person is really fast. They were just born with it. When we talk about things like this, you know what usually happens. I'm not talking about talent in the sense of trying to overcome completely insurmountable differences, like the gap between Black and Asian athletes. Even among East Asians, you might want to be the best in Korea, or more realistically, you want to cut your 10K time by 5 minutes or achieve a sub 3-hour marathon, things like that. If you play sports, you probably want to break through the defense in a tough situation or catch a ball that most people would miss, right? You probably want to get just a little bit better than you are now. To do that well, feedback is really important. Feedback? But I don't have anyone to give me feedback. A lot of people probably feel this way. Of course, if you could get expert advice right nearby and right away, that would be the best. But I'm not just talking about that kind of feedback. You've probably had this kind of experience at least once. I messed up. You know those basketball shooting games at amusement parks or arcades? How do you feel the moment you throw the ball? Oh, it went in this time. I messed up this time. There are times when you can really feel this sensation clearly. If you've played basketball or know a lot about it, that feeling is even more accurate. Even if you're a complete beginner who's never played basketball, you can still tell, oh, that definitely went in. Or, that definitely missed. You can usually sense at least this much. The feedback I'm talking about starts from things like this. It's about catching sensations like how much force your body is using, where your arms are positioned, and where your legs are. In more technical terms, this is sometimes called proprioception. Even just starting to catch these things will really make a big difference. But a lot of people aren't even aware of this. If you're watching this video right now, try checking yourself. Are your shoulders raised like this, rolled forward, and are your trapezius muscles tense? Or are you gripping your toes like this and tensing the soles of your feet? If you were in this state and you weren't even aware of it, in a way I should probably congratulate you. If you know which parts of your body to use and how to use your strength, it means you have the potential to become much faster than you are now. People who are naturally talented, they don't think about this on a conscious level. They just unconsciously, without thinking, develop really good mechanisms to run as fast as possible, just by doing things a certain way. But for people like me, who aren't naturally talented, try to move as fast as you can. Put in more strength. With vague advice like this, which anyone could give, you'll never be able to develop that sense. You need to be really specific, like exactly which part of your foot to use at a certain moment. You need to break it down in detail, like which muscles to use to bend your hip joint, and for each phase of running, exactly which part of your body should be engaged. Even if it feels awkward and uncomfortable at first, this is the fastest way for people without natural talent to get faster. Okay, I got it. I get the theory, but what exactly should I do to get faster? Some of you might be wondering about that. Actually, the details vary a lot depending on the situation. So if you watch these videos, you'll be able to understand the specifics much better. But to share something you can apply right away after watching this video and get faster. I want to run faster, but I feel really anxious. I feel like I'm going to fall. If that's you, a lot of people in that situation tend to run like this. Your legs swing backward, your body leans forward, and your center of gravity gets thrown off, making you feel like you're about to fall. In this kind of situation, you need to bring your legs, which are swinging backward, forward instead. Try lifting your legs in place like this. You should be able to feel your iliopsoas muscle engaging. If you try running while focusing on that sensation of using your iliopsoas, you'll be able to stretch your legs out long in front and behind, just like athletes, achieving a cool and impressive posture without feeling anxious. Ah, teacher, I definitely got faster. But when I actually entered the competition, I was slow again. There have been quite a few people like this among those I've taught running to. At first, I would just say, just try a little harder, give it a shot. It's just because you haven't mastered it yet. That was all I used to say. But as these situations kept repeating and I kept thinking about what the cause might be, I realized that people really struggle in these kinds of situations, especially when you have to stop suddenly and then change direction to run again. At times like that, you also need to pay close attention to the direction of your force. Your legs shouldn't be pressing straight down vertically onto the ground. Instead, you need to send your legs out to the side while your body leans in the opposite direction. You have to move quickly while managing that slight anxiety of thinking, if I lose focus even a little, I might slip or fall. And when you need to stop and run like this, there's a particular area you need to pay special attention to. That is the metatarsal head of your big toe, right here. More precisely, it's important to use the inside of your foot centering on this metatarsal head to step and support yourself, push off the ground, and maintain stability. This use of the inner part of your foot is a key point. And if you look at the other foot, it's the opposite here. You shouldn't step with your big toe. Instead, you need to support your weight on the outside of your foot, focusing on the metatarsal head of your little toe. If I go into too much detail, it'll get too long, so just try to follow this exactly. Stand on one leg, support your weight, and then, while jumping in place, move sideways little by little. Try pushing off the ground by putting your weight on the outside of your foot toward the little toe. Then, in the opposite direction, focus on supporting yourself with your big toe as you push off the ground again. So, it's enough if you get the sense that, I need to use this part when I run. In this way, by feeling your body's sensations and giving yourself feedback, you can check whether you're using this part well when you run. If you keep practicing while carefully checking these aspects, your posture will gradually stabilize and you'll be able to run at a fast pace without any unnecessary movements. And now, I've been explaining in detail about which part of the foot to use, the inside, the outside, and so on. I've been going into these details quite specifically. There is an important reason why we need to break things down. For example, when we talk about getting into a good university, the college entrance exam or academic record are key. Interviews or other assessments may be required. If you just look at the overall score and see that you got 70 out of 100, it's hard to figure out what you need to do to raise your score or whether you can get into a good university. But let's say your academic record is in the first or second tier, so that's fine. But your college entrance exam score, especially in math, is only in the fifth or first tier. But since you're in the science track, you can't afford to be bad at math. In that case, shouldn't you focus all your efforts on the math section of the college entrance exam, putting everything else aside? That's what I mean. People often say things like, I'm slow at running. So what can you do in that situation? It means you need to look at the details first. So in my case, I look at what's behind those words. I actually watch how someone runs to see in what situations and in what ways they're slow, and then I give feedback that's appropriate for that situation. The few small points I just mentioned are only a tiny part of it. With that overall picture in mind, I check each aspect one by one and help you improve them. But usually what people do is this. Oh, are you slow at running? Then do it like this. They talk about posture in this way. When that happens, many people see it and wonder, is this my problem? And try to follow it. Oh, are you slow at running? This strengthening exercise is good for you. Then people try that too, and it goes on like this. I understand though. Trying things out one by one and learning through trial and error, those things are good. But if possible, wouldn't it be better to take a more efficient and faster route? You need to identify what your problem is and apply the right method that fits it. You should thoroughly learn the correct mechanics to get faster and do the basic strengthening exercises to support that. Of course, you have to work hard at it. In addition, especially for the parts you struggle with or the areas that need more focus, you should pick out one of those detailed points and spend a bit more time on it. And these processes are things that even naturally talented geniuses must go through in order to reach higher levels. According to the author of the book, The Rediscovery of the 10,000 Hour Rule, it is said that you need 10,000 hours to reach an expert level. But those 10,000 hours are not just time spent mindlessly, they are 10,000 hours filled with deliberate practice, conscious, intentional training. You remember the sensation of doing it well for a long time and try to keep reproducing it, and when you don't do it well, you check how that feels, gradually improving the quality of your practice in this way. In fact, I also emphasize this process a lot when I conduct training. I record your current exercise performance and then ask, how did that feel to you just now? That's the kind of question I ask. This way, I help you become more aware of your own sensations, and I show you through the video whether you're actually implementing it well. For example, I might say, you're doing well right now, or it seems like you're sensing it well at the moment. But in some aspects, there still seem to be areas that need improvement. I point out each of these things specifically, saying, shall we try running again after reinforcing this part a bit more? Even if you just apply the small tips I shared in this video as they are, you'll definitely feel yourself getting faster. Compared to the range of things I can teach you, what I shared today is actually just a very small portion. From the reasons you might have felt slow in certain situations, to posture issues, exercises to improve them, and even ways to deal with injuries or pain that you might experience as you train with a desire to improve. I'm sharing all the essential information that anyone who wants to enjoy exercise and get better at it will need through my online lectures. It's not just a matter of saying, watch the video and try to figure it out on your own. I check whether you're actually applying each of the key points explained in the videos, provide feedback, and based on information like what kind of exercise you're currently enjoying and which areas you feel particularly lacking in, I offer completely personalized exercise guidance tailored to your body's condition. If you've ever thought, I can't do it because I have no talent, and have given up or felt discouraged, I encourage you to experience real change through the Fitness, Speed, and Agility online training. For more details, please check the pinned comment. Thank you for watching the video until the end.